Your next guest you're going to hear, and this is such an amazing story, and somebody I'm very pleased to say that we've got a bit more time to talk to than last time we were on the radio together. Cara Jane Spencer, morning to you.
Hi, morning.
How are you feeling today?
I'm not too bad, although I've had a couple of choking episodes recently, so I'm a bit sore.
Right. Now, you see, for you, I'm not too bad. Most people, if they knew the full story, would be saying, not too bad. How'd you put up with all of that? You do have a medical condition, and the fact that you had a choking thing happening is quite serious. Just to give us a little bit of background to what it is that you have to put up with.
I have myalgic encephalomyelitis, which is a neuroimmune disease and causes inflammation in the brain and spinal cord. For me, it's systemic, which means it affects every bodily system. And I have a suprapubic catheter, and
what does that do?
Well, it's just a catheter from your bladder straight into your belly with the tube, rather than catheter from inserted from the urethra, for example.
Well, that's quite medical, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And then obviously on oxygen 24/7, needing full-time nursing care, needing the insulin, and we're going to be soon needing a peg feed as well, because I'm choking even on liquids now.
This is all, very distressing for people to hear. For you, I mean, dealing with this is an extraordinary thing, because this struck unexpected in your teenage years. It
was very unexpected, yes. It came out of nowhere, really. 1 minute I went to bed and I could walk, and then the next day I got out of bed and I was very jerky and couldn't walk, and my movements were so jerky, is all I can say. They were so on off. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but there was no rhythm or rhyme to my movements. I couldn't stop my body moving and contorting into different patterns and shapes, and it was very painful, because obviously it was a bit like doing Twister.
But with somebody else doing the twisting for you?
Yes, but with somebody else doing the twisting.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it wasn't nice.
Well, I think that is something to just bear in mind. You go to bed feeling fine and you wake up with something that's changed your life, and the immediate reaction would be change your life for the worse. What you have become is an inspiration, and also a lover of music and making music. And what we'll do is hear your song Crushed now, because the story of making this is again testament to your strength, Cara Jane Spencer. So
I think Crushed was a big anger release for me.
Well, hear the story of how it was made, and indeed the story behind the song itself after listening to this. Cara Jane Spencer, this song is called Crushed. Cara Jane Spencer, responsible for that song called Crushed, and Cara Jane on the line talking with you this morning on BBC Radio Nottingham, and we can talk about the music and the creation of the actual sound there, but the words. I mean, Cara, when people hear a song, a painful story of a lost love or feeling the weight of the world on their shoulders, they might say, I can kind of relate to that. The words there are incredibly personal, that sense of disbelief and bewilderment and how you felt. That's what I take from it. Is that what you wanted to put across?
Yeah, I think it's just a song for when everything becomes totally overwhelming and you want to tear down walls. And for me, I actually can't. I'm stuck inside this body. I can't even throw a cup to the other side of the room. And I have an immense amount of frustration that I often feel, and I have nothing to do with it. So for me, it was a huge outlet to create that song and to hear all the music being put to it. And I remember my producer, Liam Hicks, he said, "You sure you want it to go boom after this bit?" And I was like, "Yes, go boom."
And it does. I mean, a very brilliant contemporary sound. Who are your influences, would you say, for making music?
Well, I'm very influenced by a band called Three Laws, or Three Laws. I'm not sure it's got the on it. But
is that Laws as in Laws or Lores?
LAWS.
The Three Laws. And I'm going to have to check them out because, yeah. Okay.
They're absolutely fantastic. They're a very little known band, but they deserve much more credit.
How did you come across Three Laws then?
I come across by getting. They were on a soundtrack for a series I was watching on Netflix, and I look up songs from programs that I watch, so I looked up the song and found them on there, and then found their album, and they were absolutely fantastic. And they were one of the songs that I really got in touch with because I have a real. My range has changed a lot vocally from what I used to be able to sing. I used to be able to have a much broader range and more powerful. So, but when I listened to the Three Laws music, I realised there was power in Velvet, if that makes any sense. And I realised that I could be powerful with the voice that I still had. So they were a big inspiration to inspire me to say, you can do this.
Cara, what I find, and far be it for me to do it on the radio, if I try to sing seriously, I find myself actually running out of breath. How on earth have you been able to create that song, given, as you've explained, the difficulties you have with breathing?
It's been hard. I've been having to breathe in as deeply as I can. Hold it. That last line where and crushed and fades out. That was the most difficult line to do of any of my songs, I think, because I was running out of the air. But I thought it's not going to be bad for the song to have it go out a bit croaky, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it carries the emotion.
Yeah. But
so
it's been really hard. I've done it a line at a time, really. I've not been able to sing a stanza through, or it's been slow and it's been tedious, but I've been determined.
The end result is extraordinary, and know that you're selling the tune to raise money for the society that works with your condition, the myalgic encephalomyelitis. Association,
yeah. Me Association.
And people, I think, hearing your story and hearing your music are getting involved and helping you along. Just who helped you put the music together? Because it would have required, dare I say, a fair bit of patience on their part if you were doing this line by line.
Yeah, massively. I mean, I managed to put it together into one piece, but they've then had to establish a rhythm, and I had a rhythm in mind, and I was going through the rhythm with them. I tried to put the songs into the rhythm that was right myself, but to send over to them. But yeah, getting all that and getting that right has been a big amount of patience on their part.
So you created this and other songs. There is an album out. Did you do the initial sort of demo versions on your own at home then?
I've voice recorded them onto my phone.
Wow, line by line.
Yeah.
And so in your head you must have had the tune, because if you're doing it line by line, each line, you're going to have to stop and then do that line, but it's got to marry up to the tune that you've got in your head. So you've clearly got a very musical brain.
I must have.
I want to talk some more with you, if we may, while we've got the chance, Cara, because the putting together of this music and the importance of the music to you, I think, are worth further discussion. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
We'll let you have a think about things, maybe enjoy this from C.C. Peniston.
I will.
Maybe this was the kind of thing that you would have been grooving. And finally, on BBC Radio Nottingham, I'm Alan Clifford, and talking with Cara Jane Spencer. And you heard the music that she's made, the song Crushed, which is part of an album that was made. And a lot of people did step forward to help, I think. You talked about the creation of the song on your phone and then turning it into something it's commercially appealing. Not that your demo version wouldn't have been commercially appealing. I don't mean to do that, but you have achieved an extraordinary thing with help. So, were you surprised at how much people were willing to give and put into this?
I really was. Yeah, I didn't expect the amount of help at all. I really didn't. I was blown away, to be honest, because there were more messages than I could physically reply to, and that's amazing.
So people stepped forward to help, and I think over 100 people involved in the story.
Yeah, round about.
Yeah, and then the feeling that you get when it's actually done. Where were you when you heard, say, let's think about Crush, that song that I played earlier. Where were you when it was like played back to you as a finished product?
I was just here at home in my bed, and I just remember hearing it and such satisfying feeling. I was like, yes, that is Crushed.
They got the emotion, they got the feeling bang on.
Definitely did. If I kind of play it when I need to.
How many other songs are involved in this? Because there is an album, isn't there?
Yeah, there's an album. There are 9 songs. We have some songs that are based on anger and frustration, but there are also some songs that are lots of songs based around love, be it love for family, and also I have a version of the illness which is life-threatening, so I also have songs on there that are like for people when I've memories from my family when I've passed, and things like that, like messages for like my nephew who I may or may not get to see grow up, things like that. And then there's also a bit of political writing there with the ME people's battle with to get the right treatment. And then there's also a song on there called Remember Us, and that's been really specifically for the ME community, remembering all the people that have died and the ones that are still suffering. So there's a big variety of themes on the album. It's not just an album about a poorly girl, if that makes sense. It's just about a big life lived,
You carry a lot in your life. I mean, a lot of us sometimes feel a bit, hard done by, but you've just run through the things that you have to face.
Yeah, I don't quite know how I do it.
But you do, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And music is, you're using music to express yourself and carry the message. And so why music? Why is music so important to you, would you say?
I don't think anything quite expresses things like music. Also, I think other mediums of art have become unavailable to me. I used to be a dancer. I can no longer dance. I used to paint. I can not really anymore paint. I'm not like I can't hold my arms up and things like that to paint the canvas anymore. So, music was my only real medium that I had left, and I've always had to create. I've just had to create in whatever way it is. That's just, I have to. It's not like a thing to do. It's just a need to create.
What was the music that you were enjoying as a child growing up?
Oh gosh, there was all sorts. I mean, my dad was very into Billy Joel and Toto and all things like that growing up. So
bit MOR then.
Oh yeah. So Billy Joel was a hugely political writer. At this time, what is it? The Great Wall of China, or some of the other songs that he did with the We Didn't Start the Fire.
I was just thinking of that one.
You know,
yeah.
We Didn't Start the Fire. How political that was.
Yeah.
And you know, I remember Dad like always kind of teaching me not really realising he was teaching me, but teaching me that music could be used as a political medium. And I do believe in art as a political, as a political form. You know, it can say things that you can't say in any other way, and it can pull a punch where something else will. You know, I could write a letter to the Prime Minister that wouldn't get me anywhere. I can write a song that will get me there, and it'll pull a punch. Do you know what I mean? It's just there's something so heart-stoppingly amazing how you relate to music. You know, we all relate to it, don't we, differently? And I think that's wonderful if you can make something that everyone's going to relate to in a different way, but it's your expression.
Cara, where will people find out more about your album and be able to purchase this, because the money being raised is for the M.E. Association? So I strongly encourage people to, because the song Crushed, and if I don't get a chance to play it again today, I will try and get it into future programmes, because I think it just deserves...
Thank you.
It's a beautiful piece of music. If we didn't know the story behind it, I'd say that's great. It's a bit sort of London grammarish, and as we've heard from you, it's inspired by Three Rolls. Yeah, they came out of Nottingham University, didn't they? So another local link. But for your album, what's it called? Where will people find it?
It's called It's Still Me, and the website is carajanesings.com. And
Cara with a K.
Cara with a K, yes, with attitude. And it's available on iTunes, on Amazon, on Google Play, on Spotify, and I think Deezer, and a few of the other...
All right. So, Cara Jane Spencer, It's Still Me, and the me is the capitalised M.E.
Capital M.E.
Which is your condition.
Yeah.
Cara, thank you so much. Really weird, when you started talking about Billy Joel and being political, the first song that popped into my head was We Didn't Start the Fire. So, while you were talking, and then you said, We didn't start the fire, I'd already found it to play. Thank you so much.
Awesome.